In this video, I'm going to show you the two things you'll ever need to be successful on YouTube and get more than 1 million views. Now, I've built many successful channels in the past, and I've noticed that other YouTubers who share advice, they don't tell you these two things. But I'm going to help you guys out today and give you the two most important things. And if you follow this, you will get more than 1 million views, I promise you. Now, the first thing is retention. And you may be wondering, what is retention? Retention is essentially a percentage representing the amount of time people spend consuming your video. So an audience retention rate of 65% means that on average, viewers watch 65% of your video. Okay, so right here, I have my retention graph on YouTube. So when you post a video on YouTube and you kind of get views and data, YouTube will make this graph for you so that you can see your retention. And I'm going to show you how to go through it and understand the analytics, right? First of all, this is on YouTube Shorts, and I also created this when I was very young, before I was such a G, right? So at the start, my retention is very high, 178%, right? And at the bottom, you can kind of see the duration of the video. But as I go along kind of on this line graph, you can tell as the video duration increases, my retention decreases. And that is not a good thing. When your retention percent decreases, that means people are clicking off the video, right? So I started with about 170%, but now when I go into 3 seconds, I lost 40%, right? So now I'm at 132%. And as you can see, the graph in general is kind of declining, which means that people are leaving, and leaving, right? So I keep going, and now it's not even 100 at 11 seconds, right? And this video is only 17 seconds long, which means that this video probably wasn't that good because so many people are leaving on such a short video. Now, some channels that I've consulted myself have had 100% retention or a little less in probably 30-minute videos with over 3 million views, which is just how good content they're creating, right? If you're having that much retention and that many views, that means you're creating very good content, right? And when you have good retention, your views will automatically increase. That's why retention is so important, okay? Because it's kind of like a relationship, okay? If you have good retention, then your views they will be very good, right? So this retention, it's not that good, but it could be a lot worse. I've seen a lot worse when I've done consulting 60 and 50%. And those videos with 45%, 50%, or even lower, I've seen lower, I've seen 25%. They've had not even 1,000 views, right? But when I saw retention at 100% all the way through, those videos had millions of views, right? So when you have good retention, you're sending the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, a message that people like this video, so keep boosting it, and it will keep boosting it. So this video, I believe, it got about maybe 30,000 views, and it's YouTube Shorts, so it was a little different. And I was younger, so I wasn't creating as good content, but I'm just showing an example of how to see these analytics, right? So you can see it's kind of decreasing the whole way through, right? So if I were you and you saw a noticeable gap, right, you can kind of see that there's a very big decline. Well, there's no insane decline, but it's very gradual, right? What I would do is I would watch it and see why they clicked off, right? And then for the next video, go into, even I've even went so specific to go to each frame to edit and cut out anything unnecessary, because when you give a bunch of unnecessary things or long silences, or you just kind of get bland and boring, people are going to tend to click off, right? Which is why you have to make the video entertaining and not bland the whole way through, or else your retention is just going to go down an insane amount, right? So when you see a video that are a retention graph that gives you a spike and goes down so much, then you want to cut that part out and make sure that the video is entertaining, because that means that that part either it didn't click for the audience or it just wasn't entertaining. That's why they clicked off. So learn from it. It gives actually, if you're able to learn from this and apply it to the next video you make, you will be very successful. Now, I just talked about what is retention and just retention in general. Now, I'm going to tell you how to get good retention in your videos. And personally, this is what I used, and this has done so perfect. So, first, you want to just draw them in for the first 5 seconds, right? You want to make sure that they like the content, they stay, and they just like what they see, right? You want to prove the title. So, if your title, if I make my title about two things that are going to get you success in YouTube, I'm going to start off my video, my hook, about the two things, right? You want to prove the title. That's why in this video I started saying, I literally said, in this video I'm going to show you the two things, right? You want to prove the title because they want to see the title and they want to see that actually in the video, right? You don't want to have a title, I'm going to give away $1 billion, and then you start off just talking about nothing that relates to $1 billion, right? Because then they're realizing they clicked because of the title. and now they're not getting what they want, right? So prove the title and prove the thumbnail. They also click because of the thumbnail, right? That's what they see. The thumbnail is kind of the image that they see. So prove that correctly, right? Hook them in. Use hooks by asking questions like, for example, are your videos not getting enough views, right? Make it relatable. Make these questions relatable, right? That's another way probably I will hook people in, saying, are your videos not getting views, right? That's a perfect hook, right? Provide hopes. Just kind of talked about things like these videos will get, these tips and tricks will get you a million views. That's providing hope, right? That's why they clicked on it, right? And just make claims in general, right? As I said before, add a personal connection by saying you, by referring to them as the audience, right? And cut to the chase. Don't make it insanely long, but keep it short and concise. Have them see what they want. Now, listen. Once you get your viewers in the door from a 5-second hook, right? You want to keep them in the video. So the first thing is, don't fully sidetrack, but add a story. And I'm going to show you how to do that, right? Talk about unexpected things in the video, right? So if you're doing a video about your phone and you're doing a review on your phone, talk about hidden features, tips, or tricks, right? Basically what you're doing is you're telling them things about the overall theme, right? You're talking about phones. Even though the video is a review, you're sharing hidden tips or tricks, right? You're not talking about your light, your lamp, this and that, things that aren't unrelated. So keep it related. That's what I mean. Don't sidetrack. Keep it related to the overall theme, right? Share personal stories. I talked about YouTube, how I did YouTube, and this is a video about YouTube, right? So that's related. I'm not talking about other things, right? I'm not talking about school right now, right? And adding unnecessary info will make viewers click off and disengage. So if you're making a video about YouTube or you're making a video about Fortnite and you suddenly talk about school, things like that, math and stuff like that, they're going to get disengaged, right? Because you brought them into the video by talking about Fortnite. The video title and thumbnails about Fortnite. Now you're completely switching the subject. They are not going to be too happy and they're going to click off. So if you're making a video about Fortnite, maybe talk about the item shop, right? That will keep them engaged because it's about Fortnite. It relates to the overall theme, right? So don't sidetrack, but add a story and keep your videos dynamic, right? So top YouTubers, right? I actually took this from a different YouTuber who's having great success right now, and he did this research. Cut to a new shot every 1.7 seconds, right? So top YouTubers, this is what they do, right? They cut to a new shot every 1.7 seconds, meaning that right now, I'm just sitting in my chair, right? But for them, every 1.7 seconds, they're switching up what they're doing, right? Especially look at Mr. Beast. In his videos, he's always moving around, right? It's not the same background every single time. And have about 19 shots in the first 30 seconds, right? Obviously, this information all switches around your niche, right? But if your niche is about a challenge video, giving away money, kind of, I'm going to relate to Mr. Beast right now, but having that 19 shots, he's always switching where he is, right? 1 in 5 shots is a talking headshot. He's always showing things that isn't just his face talking, right? Because after you talk for a certain amount of time, people are going to get bored out of their mind and they're going to click off, right? So he's showing different things in the video. That's what keeps people engaged and increases his retention. And move around, change backgrounds. As I said, he's always moving around, changing backgrounds, and he's also switching camera angles. And psychologically, when things are just moving like that and you're just switching things up, it kind of adds a sense of freshness. Your brain doesn't get used to it. It's always switching, and that's what makes it entertaining, right? Look at Hollywood, look at movies. So when someone's just sitting down for an hour and talking to you face to face in a YouTube video, that's not what they're really looking for. And you're gonna have bad retention. A lot of people are gonna click off, right? Because your brain just gets used to it after a few minutes, right? Your brain operates fast, right? They're gonna get used to it right away, and it's gonna get boring for them. So always move around to keep them entertained, right? Now, if you watch a lot of YouTube, you'll kind of notice how the game has evolved to make it more dynamic. Now, to make it dynamic, a lot of people they're adding captions to every word they say, they're adding images to match what they're talking about because this keeps your brain kind of, as I said, as I will say, it's going to keep your brain kind of moving and fresh and processing more things, but not too much at once, right? When your brain is processing more things, it makes it a little more entertaining. It makes them want to stay. If you don't have anything on the screen except your face, then they're gonna think the video is stale and they're gonna click off, right? So adding these large text, adding images, it keeps everything fresh and it keeps people entertained and want to watch more, right? This is a big way that people they keep engagement, they keep retention, right? Adding images, pictures, everything, things like that. And then incentivize completion, right? So if I'm there's a reason at the beginning of this video I said retention only, right? I said the first thing is retention, right? That's because I want you to stick around to tell you the other thing, right? Now, I'm not going to say it right now because I'm incentivizing completion, okay? So when you get to the later part of the video, then you'll hear the second thing, right? Please don't skip through. But I mean, you can if you want, you're the one suffering, right? But that's how you incentivize completion. If you tell them what they're going to get right away, like I said two things, but I didn't tell them the two specific things right away. If you tell them right away, then they're going to be like, oh, he told me. Why do I need to stay in the video? But now you're staying in the video and you're watching me explain because I kept you engaged and I'm giving you this valuable information. But if I gave it to you at the start, there would be no purpose for you to actually watch the video, right? And vary your tone, change your tone. You can add sound effects or you can use music to keep viewers engaged, but don't just talk like this. You're just not gonna get any views, right? You gotta have your chest out. You gotta be confident and your voice loud. Like look at every YouTuber, right? This is how they're doing it. This is why they're so successful. The two I'm gonna tell you, Ryan Tran and Mr. Beast. If you analyze them genuinely, you'll realize why they're so successful, right? It's not hard, right? Their tone, it's always upbeat. They're always kind of talking in a loud voice, not super loud, but loud to keep you engaging, right? And blend in your outros. They kill retention, right? Imagine having a perfect video with insanely high retention, and then you come to your outro and everything just everyone clicks off, right? This is because outros are so predictable, right? So if I end this video with thanks for watching, it's Bob. If I'm saying my name is Bob, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Everyone knows that that's an outro. And when you start an outro, people realize that the video is over, right? And they realize that they don't need to watch the outro because they already got the information that they need. Now they can leave, right? So if you're going to do an outro, blend it in. Maybe if I'm talking about the retention and the other thing, I can recommend another video, right? Talking about how to create good thumbnails, stuff like that, right? Then people, they still stay engaged because they're like, oh, thumbnails, I'm doing YouTube. Maybe I want to watch the next video, right? So blend in the outro. That's kind of an outro on its own, but don't just be like, all right, guys, I'm signing off for the day. This, that. They're going to click off right away because they already know that the video's over and they don't need to watch anymore, right? And that's going to lower your attention and lower your views. Now, that was the first step to getting a million views, right? Retention. Okay. Now, I know you've been waiting for it. This is the second step, and this is CTR. Now, you might be wondering, what is CTR? CTR stands for click through rate, and that's just how many people saw your video and clicked on it, right? So if you're scrolling YouTube and let's say your video's up and 10 people are scrolling YouTube and 10 people see your video, but only one person clicks on it, that means your CTR is 10%, right? It's the people that actually click on it that see it and click on it, right? So, how to increase CTR? Now, these are two very simple but very crucial components, right? And it's the title and the thumbnail, right? So, let me show you how to do a good title, right? Now, first of all, titles are evolving to a much more simple format, and I'll show you some examples, right? I'm going to keep showing you Mr. Beast because he is the smartest YouTuber out there, right? He's one of those most popular ones, and there's a reason for that. He is so smart behind the scenes, and I've analyzed him so much, and I've broken down the reasons he's successful. He said himself, and I'm going to tell you guys now, right? So, looking at his titles, look how simple that he's made them, right? So let's look at some of his old videos, right? 3 years ago, 3 years ago, right? I spent 50 hours buried alive. Last Leaf Circle wins $500,000, right? These are old videos, both from 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and those are actually really good titles. But I'm going to show you how his evolved to a much more simple format, right? As if that's not already simple enough. Also, look at this one. Would you sit in snakes for $10,000? Remember that one specifically. Would you sit in snakes for $10,000? Right? Now we're going to go to kind of his more recent ones and just see, right? 7 days stranded in a cave. It's just a simple statement, right? Even here, men versus women survived the wilderness for 500,000, right? It is barely a sentence. It's also so concise and it's just so attention grabbing, right? If you see those numbers, 500,000, obviously, if you're starting YouTube, you probably don't have 500,000 to put down in video, but the concept of the way he's making it so intriguing, you don't even need to put 500,000, but he's just doing such a good job with it, right? 100 identical twins fight for $250,000, right? Just kind of having that reward for something, just it's so enticing for the average viewer, right? Just 7 days stranded in a cave. and that got 100 million views. Obviously, he has a lot of subscribers, so his videos are going to get a lot of views. But just these simple titles are gaining so many views, right? World's deadliest obstacle course, right? You see how it kind of evolved from right here, which says, "Would you sit in snakes for $10,000?" to now just world's deadliest obstacle course, right? It's kind of switching. It's just he's concising it. He's breaking it down and he's just making it simple because he knows who his target market is, right? That's another thing about YouTube, right? But that's a video for for another day. Knowing your target market, and he knows that these are probably smaller children and how simple their minds is and what is enticing to them personally, right? This is such a simple thing. World's deadliest obstacle course. He didn't even have to add "I spent" or "I went on the world's deadliest obstacle course." He just put it, right? So if you want to analyze good titles, go to Mr. Beast or go to Ryan Trahan. Both are great options. Now listen, a little more on thumbnails. Obviously, I showed you the example of Mr. Beast just exaggerating everything. I think that is the most important thing. But having close-up shots of the face, all his were close-up and attention grabbing and easy to see, even on mobile devices, right? Most of the views probably come from mobile devices, and they're just easy to see, right? Bold colors, using bright and contrasting colors to make the thumbnail pop. That's what people like to see. Making it pop is why people click on it, right? I would even argue that thumbnails are more important than the title because you see something before you read it. So when you see a picture like that, you'll see that first and read it. People, they usually don't read it first, then look at the thumbnail, right? So the first thing that they're seeing is the thumbnail. So you want to make that's why people click on the video, right? So you want to make sure that that's really good, right? And here are examples of bad versus good thumbnails. Now, does that person on the left look familiar to you? If you're paying attention to my face, yeah. I was 12 years old. I've always been on this YouTube grind. I was 12 years old when I made this. This was before I was a G. And this video was basically TikTok life hacks, trying viral TikTok life hacks, right? Um, it's not pretty, but if you look on the right, look how exaggerated that is. Look at the yellow background. He's using that to because yellow obviously it pops out. It's gonna catch people's attention, and then this Mentos into a not even a can of tank of Coke. Obviously, he's not doing that in the video, but that's just so attention seeking. People are gonna click on that because they want to know what's going on. He's showing something, but he's kind of not showing the full result because he wants people to click on it, right? And he's exaggerating. He probably doesn't have that tank of Coke or that tub of Mentos, right? Here's another one. This is when I got a little better. Even this isn't that good of a thumbnail on the left. This was at I was 14, I think. This was real versus off-brand food or fake food. So on the left, I have a bag of normal Lay's classic chips, and then I have legs, which is skunk. I mean, this is all right. It's not that good. There's a lot of improvement to being made. But these thumbnails aren't hard to make, right? So this is FaZe Rug on the right. He's also a very famous YouTuber that's very good if you analyze him, right? On the left, he has real versus fake steak. And one thing he did that's actually very smart, he made them look kind of similar because people now they're going to click in, oh, the fake one looks real and the real one also looks real, but the fake one, it's saying fake above it. But why is it fake, right? So now they're going to click on that video. Now, if you're interested in me helping your YouTube channel for free, comment down below because I'm going to do a journey on YouTube where I'll help you guys scale your YouTube channel from 0 to 1 million followers in 3 or 4 months. And it's just going to be an amazing journey. If you're interested in other videos about how to boost your YouTube channel, click right up there. And I'll see you guys in the next video.